Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. Sorry, I got a little bit of a late start. I was actually helping a new prospective student with something. Somebody brought me a property and just showed me, and I said, don't buy it. Hell no. Terrible, terrible. And unfortunately, that's kind of what happens. A lot of people that get in my mentorship, they find out they shouldn't have bought what they just bought. Uh, yeah. But sometimes they get in and they haven't closed yet. And it's better to just, eat and lose $3,000 to $5,000, on your earnest money or your option money, than to follow through. So, anyways, I'm closing the mentorship. In other words, I'm only going to accept the people, anybody that I've made an offer to and gave a little bit of a deal on, in the last several, weeks. That's no longer guaranteed. I'm actually going to be doing live webinars and soon, and the price will be going up. And I've got a fantastic group, and I love the class, and we got just a really great community of people that are actually money makers, not a bunch of hopeful people that slap each other on the back and dream together. These are people that actually make money. So Kevin Hawthorne, good afternoon, up from Lakeland. I thought, I'd like to do one in Florida. I'd like to maybe rent one of Ben Mala's hotels and maybe go up there because we do have a lot of people out there. Is this stream configured for use? I don't know. Good afternoon, Tom. Still reading your book. Gonna hop in a webinar Thursday. Yeah, you know what? Write me, Angel. I'll probably do this webinar Thursday, but I may just send you a video copy, to be quite honest. Anyway, things are good. I closed a property for a little over $2.5 million recently. I made just a tiny bit, not very much, but it was a piece of land. But I made $800,000 on the property next door to it. And I bought them together. So it's actually overall, it's a fantastic deal. I sold the house this morning. Kind of funny thing. They actually, I think they did it by accident, but they put down option money, $3,500, and then they put earnest money, $250, and I accepted that, of course, but. I even had escrow go back and check and say, verify that that's what they want to do. And they confirmed. And anyways, so that's the first time I ever had my earnest money deposit or my option money was greater than the deposit. And it's non-refundable too. So anyways, but again, look, there's a fortune to be made out there in real estate. And if anybody wants to call in, by the way, call in. Listen, any call you got, don't be afraid of it being a dumb question. Whatever. I tend to go after smart people. I don't like, I try, and don't get me wrong about intelligence, because I don't want anybody to think that look, I didn't finish high school, okay? I'm not the best at grammar. I can read well. I do math well, and really that's all I've ever needed. But really, I can tell you firsthand, just from the people that have made millions of dollars now, that are in my mentorship, you just need to understand math. That's the most important thing. You just need to understand math. So, like I said, good. We got somebody calling in. Let's see. Okay, and please. Yeah, stack them up here. If anybody wants to call. I'm going to take this caller. Let's see what happens. Hey, Tom here. Who do I got on the phone?
Hey, good day, Tom. This is Angel from New York.
Hey, Angel. How you doing? Have you been in a webinar before? Or have we spoke before?
Yeah, we spoke before, like around a month ago about your book. I'm still reading it. I'm gonna hop on the webinar this Thursday. God willing.
Okay, okay. I'm about 90% sure I'll be there. Otherwise, I might be sending you a recording.
For sure,
Anyways,
for sure.
yeah. So, yeah, Angel. So, just tell me a little bit about yourself. If you want to share, what's your situation? This is some of the stuff I like to know from anybody that wants to get in my mentorship. And people are usually quite surprised that, I don't encourage people to borrow money to get in my to take my mentorship. I say if you can't pay cash for it,
Mhm.
probably shouldn't do it. I mean, if you got $500,000 equity and you got some money tied up in a way that you're still liquid, I might say sure, okay, But for the most part,
Yeah.
I unlike the fake gurus out there, which is 99% of the people out there, that the whole scam with all this fake guru shit is make things seem easier and fun and like it's a community of moneymakers, and it's not that way. I mean, I have a community of
Hmm.
moneymakers. But it's not like hundreds of people get on the phone together, and it's not like that, and it's not like that's not reality, anyways. And I was looking at some Reddits on Pace Morby and God, Chris Crone and some other people, and it's just silly. It's just silly. But if you don't know anything about making money, you might fall victim to believing this kind of bullshit. So, anyways, so tell me about you. Where do you own your piece of property? Do you own anything right now?
No, right now I don't own anything. Well, a little bit of background on myself. I got a college full time at the moment. I have two jobs. I have one that is part time, which is I'm a bus driver for school, and also I'm a part time real estate agent. And thanks to those jobs, I've been able to save some amount, not that much, but some amount. Yeah, thank God.
And so,
I
are,
don't own anything.
are you liquid? How much money do you have put aside? If you want to share, if you don't want to share, I'll talk to you privately. But if you want to just call and share, you're welcome to. But this is pretty much how I would talk to you if you wanted to get in the class, anyways. How liquid are you?
Well, I have right now like around 25 plus 25 plus
25.
space.
Okay, 25 cash.
Um,
Not
mhm.
spoken for. That's available, right? For the right deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Okay.
mhm.
And how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay. Okay. Uh, and you said you work for the school.
Yeah, I work. I'm a school bus driver. I got a college as well, and I'm a real estate agent as well.
Okay. And have you made much money as an agent?
Not that much, but this year has been good. This year has been good. I have like some closings on the pipeline. It's a fair amount.
Nice.
But part of that is that I don't want to get that money and waste it. Like I'm thinking about investing some more in my development as an agent, like to improve my skills, sales skills, all that. But also my main goal is not always being an agent. Like I want to be an investor,
Yeah, you want to be an
and
investor.
you,
Absolutely, you do. I'm telling you, you do. Where do you live? Where are you at? What part of the country? What city?
this is New York, New York.
Oh, okay, right. New York, New York.
Yeah, it's like a little bit upper Westchester area, like North New York,
Okay.
closer
Uh,
to the city, but a little bit to the north.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Man, I had an opportunity. I wish I let it slip a little bit. It was on. It was in New Jersey. What do you call that? Edge line, river line, or I can't remember what they call it. You can take a water taxi straight over to it. It's pretty cool. And I'll tell you this, there's the gentleman, I thought I was going to buy it from the family of these folks, and they put me in touch with their CPA. And the
Mhm.
CPA, I told him he wanted me to buy the tools out of this machine shop, and I wanted to buy the whole thing. I want to buy the building. I want Edgewater. Let's do Edgewater, New Jersey.
Mhm.
And so what's funny is as soon as he realized I was interested in the building, my calls didn't get returned. There it is. And it was unfortunate because what I found out later on is that he bought it. He bought it from the family, so he wasn't there to necessarily give them the guidance that they were looking for. In fact, I think this might be the building right here. Yep. Well, it looks like there's a condo now where the building was. Yep. And that's what I figured was going to happen, by the way. I think this is it. I'm not 100% sure. But, I tell people all the time in class and otherwise, never trust anybody. Just don't trust anybody that stands to make money from you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways. Oh, I see. So I'm going to share. I was going to go into Google Earth here. And let me fix something here real quick. So what I'll tell you that is nice for you particularly is a lot of people come in with the attitude, like in New York and different areas, they feel like, I can't make any money here. Everything's too expensive. And so what happens is they talk themselves out of thinking they have a chance. And it's not true. They do have a chance. And now this is Edgewater. I'm in Edgewater, New Jersey right here. And I think it was off of, what was that street? Anyways, but I got a feeling this is pretty close to where this property was. And it was just a little, Edgewater, New Jersey used to just be a purely industrial area, and this was a little industrial building that I was looking at. But look at that, beautiful skyline view across the water. But you're doing the right thing. So listen, you're doing the right thing, saving your money, number one, because if you don't, listen, money is the most important tool you can have. And so, I've got a gentleman that was in the class recently, and he's 40, and he's kind of scared, and he's concerned, and I think he was surviving. He got injured, and he's just got some heavy concerns that a lot of people have, but he has 40 grand, and he's sitting there talking to me like, yeah, well, this is what I'm going to get in your class here eventually, but before I do that, I'm going to buy a couple of $3,000 properties or $5,000 properties. And I'm like, well, why? Where are they? And he was buying them out of town. And I go, what are you doing? You don't want to buy this shit out of town. And what I realized is that he's going to take his 40 grand and he's going to turn it into zero or nearly zero. And so what I told him is I said, look, you would be better off to spend a little bit of that money to be in the mentorship so you know what to do with the rest of it. And because that's the fact is he doesn't know what the hell he's doing with his money. And so, so for, like I say, you're 28 years old and you've already got 25 grand saved. That's not a small thing, and you should be proud of yourself. That is an accomplishment that a lot of people can't seem to do. I'm still looking. Maybe that's it. I'm looking for this building. It's killing me. I got to find this thing. It doesn't matter. It's gone now. But again, one of the things I've been really good at doing is getting into first place from second. So even if somebody gets in front of me, a lot of times I can get them pushed out of the way and take their position. And that's an art in itself, and it's something that comes in quite, comes up more often than you might think. Hey, Grant, good to see you in here. Hey, Tom, wouldn't think about Cody Spencer. Do you think he has? You know what? Cody Sperber. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you, since I haven't written the book, I know some part of it. I don't want to say everything about here, but I'm sending the letters and all of that. Do you think it also can be applied for condominiums or like co-ops, like in not just like in private homes or multifamilies like that, but like
listen,
like it can work on that.
Anything. It's not. There's so much more to it than that. But listen, it doesn't matter if it's a condo. I got Chris in my class. He just bought a condo for $160, and I think he just sold it for $225. He made about $45,000. He had to do a little bit of clean up, pick up a little bit, and And so somebody's asking me about Cody Spencer, but I think what they mean is Cody Sperber. He just had an interview. He was interviewed by. It's funny he wrote Cody Spencer. He was just interviewed by Spencer Cornelia. You're transposing those names, and watch that, because there is a point when Cody is asked, has he made $1 million or something like that, as an agent, or not as an agent, as an investor. And he kind of dodged the question. And so he sounds like somebody that's made his money off of courses, not real estate. And I think that's the case for most of those guys out there. And I don't know much particularly about Cody. But again, you shouldn't run away or dodge any questions, right? And if somebody does dodge a question, it should make you think. What's his name? Pace Morby. There's a guy that, he tells the same story 2 different ways, $100,000 discrepancy. You can check that out. Chris Crone, somebody that I don't see making money. I don't think he knows anything about investing in real estate other than using other people's money. And that's not, if you wanted to teach people how to do that, that would be fine. But that's not relevant to what he's preaching. At least not the way I see it. So back to your deal. Yeah, listen, I'll show you a condo. And so, like I said, a friend of mine just made, or one of my students, who's also a friend now. But let me see if I can show you a property. Yeah. So look, this is, there's condos are come in all shapes and sizes. This is a 4 condo complex right here, 50,000 square feet, 8,000 square feet, 12,000 square feet, which was mine, and then 20,000 square feet, 100,000 square feet on 5 acres of land. I came in and stole this right out from under everybody else, and it was one that was kind of on market. But I bought this for 240. I could have flipped it immediately for almost $1 million, but I held on to it, made 60 to 90 grand a year on it from rents, and then I sold it one day for $1,725,000. So I made $1.5 million on this property. But that was a property that I bought for $240,000, and like you've got 25 grand. I had less than that. I entered into my first deal with $500, with the expectation that I would come up with 10 grand in another 6 months, and that's what I did. I came up. That was my earnest money. And that was my full deposit, and then the owner carried. So my first deal was $10,000 out of pocket, but I bought it with a 6-month escrow. So with $500, I bought 6 months time. I was able to move into it. I was able to basically, really, it was like nothing down, basically, because I collected more than $10,000 in rents by not having to pay rent. I got to live in it, and it was a place for my business. Plus, I rented out a little bit of it to an old guy named Art Ralston too. Yeah. Anyways, so what have you looked at, or what you're saying you look at condos, and anybody else want to call in? Please call in as well. I've bought everything you can imagine. Okay, just so you guys understand who you're talking to. These are 3 apartment buildings right here. 13 unit, a 24 unit, a 21 unit. I made more than a couple million between those properties. Industrial buildings, houses, a lot of houses, and land. These are all houses. I bought 16 houses just in one subdivision, in another area in another area. Industrial land. In fact, the piece of land I just sold, I'll show you that. This is 5.8 acres I just sold. This is another building I bought. I still own this building. I love this building. This thing I bought for $1.6 million. And here's. And by the way, if you just got here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm always lame on getting to the subscribe. It doesn't seem to be working, son. Anyways, but yeah, hit that subscribe button while you're here. You don't want to miss my channel if you're really interested in making money in real estate. I can't.
So thank you so much. I'm still here. So thank you.
Okay, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Okay?
you. Take care. Yep.
Thank you. See you Thursday.
Yeah. Bye. All right. So, anybody out there, if you want to get in, you can call that number above. Uh, you know, any question you got, I'll take it. If you want to talk about investing in houses and buildings or land, I've made millions of dollars on everything you can imagine, large parcels, uh, you know, anything you want. What else? So, Paul, where are you from? Paul Millsap? East Heights Trading. What's your story? Where are you from? I was about to show you something. Let me think here. Oh yeah, here it is. So and I, I'll show you a couple properties. Some of you guys have been interested in land. You know, and builders are still building. In fact, the person I just talked to a little bit ago, I said, well, share the property with me. This is somebody that's not even in the class. And so she sent me the address. I looked at it. I said, don't buy it. Absolutely don't buy it. And, this is a single woman that makes great money. And she's trying to do the right thing by saving her money and investing it into property. And she could do a lot better. But even doing a poor job, she's still taking her money and putting it in a place where she's going to get depreciation on the property, and she's buying it a little bit under market, not enough, not nearly enough. And so she showed me this. She wants to get in the class, and she sent me this property that she's about to close on. I said, yeah, just don't do it. It's terrible. And she said, well, I might lose $4,000 on it. Not that much. Not that much. It shouldn't feel like that's much. And she's smart because that $4,000 is nothing compared to what she probably will lose if she closes the deal. And not only that, she's putting a healthy down payment. You're going to throw some real money down on something. That can be a loss. I consider not making money a loss, by the way. I have very high standards for making money, and I, if I make a small profit, I feel like I made a mistake. You're from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Wow, man, that is like the North Pole. I don't know how you do it. Let's see, my hottie, Matt Hottie, I'll say Matt. Hey Tom, for an assignment other than the way you teach in the book, how about to find buyers? If you can't find a buyer those ways, can you relist it? I'm not sure I understand the question exactly. You can't really list a property in the MLS for sale that's not your own. But yeah, anyways, let me just tell you something. If you have a property, if you do it right, I always tell everybody, don't worry about finding a buyer. Worry about finding a deal. Because if you find a deal, finding a buyer is easy. But as long as you hold to the fundamentals that you are going to make a lot of money, you've got to have a very substantial amount of money to be made. And because that way it's easy. You're buying something that's worth $425 or $450 and you're getting it for $300 or maybe $295. You buy it, right? And I'm talking about that it doesn't need any repairs. I mean, everything usually needs a little bit of updating if you want to go that route. But most times you shouldn't have to. Anything you buy, even if it's ripped up and it's not particularly good, broken glass, you should be able to buy it and sell it to somebody exactly as it is for substantially more than you paid for it. If it doesn't pass that test, then it's not a good deal. So that's the main thing. So Mal wrote, that's always the biggest fear for some reason is that you aren't going to find the buyer. Yeah, well, it is, and I understand that. Yeah. So, but listen, this is like the fear with business, right? Businesses are afraid to raise their prices because they're going to lose their customers and then go somewhere else. It's a normal feeling. And, buying a property, you go, I'm going to throw this money out. Hopefully I'm going to be able to close it. Hopefully I'm going to be able to sell it. Well, the way that goes away is through experience. But it doesn't mean that everything you're going to buy, you're going to be able to resell at a profit. You have to do your due diligence and make sure that you're buying it under market. That's what I do. I buy everything under market. All these properties you see behind me, 100%. Every one of these completely negotiated by me, and there's a bunch of them. You know, and this is just, there's more than it looks like, actually. You know, and I've got commercial, industrial, office, and you know, and these are what you need to take notice is all this stuff is nearby, right? I could walk, I could take a walk, you know, and I could probably just talk if I wanted to talk that much, but I could walk on nearly all my properties. You know, one of those might be take half a day to get to it, but most of these I could walk to, you know, from one to another in minutes. And really, that's what you want. You don't want to, you don't want to buy stuff that you haven't seen. You don't want to buy stuff far away. You don't have to, number one. You know, I had an opportunity come up to me that I could buy today, a wholesaler that I've actually bought a property from before. And I looked at it and I'm like, man, I don't want to go that far. It's just too far away. And, it's an hour and 45-minute drive. And I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. And I don't have to do it because I know with confidence that I can get a deal as good or better. Even though I don't have one right in front of me today, I know I will have one. But that confidence comes from doing, right? It's just like anybody in business, you know that the next, you're afraid you're not going to get the next customer. But if you're doing things right, the customer comes, you do the job, you make some money, you know, and eventually you get the confidence up that, oh yeah, it'll get better. You know, and a lot of people don't have that. Okay, oh yeah, actually, first I want to address that. Hey, Tom, you see the CPI came in hot. Actually, I haven't even looked. I don't think rates will drop like you've been saying. I didn't say rates were dropping. I never said that. I've never said that. You show me where I said rates are going to drop. Especially with the government spending we got going on. Now, Lifeversity, you're going to have to point me to the video where I said things, our interest rates are not going to drop. I mean, I believe, you got to remember, I have no confidence that the rates will drop at all. In fact, everybody in my class knows that, you know, when the Fed signaled that they're going to cut the rates in this year, I said, I think that's just a political favor to say that they're gonna. But, inflation's very real. They should have raised the rates earlier. You've been saying rates will not drop. Yeah, that's what I am saying. I don't. The rates will not drop. Listen, the banks have a certain amount of discretion where they can drop. Yeah. Okay. Came in hot. Well, look what you said. You said, I don't think rates will drop like you've been saying. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I get it. Understood, Lifeversity. You're not disagreeing with me. Yeah. Russ wrote, yeah, Tom was saying he thinks rates won't drop. Russ is also one of the fantastic students in the class. You know, he's already made a couple million, and he's changed lanes, and he's getting into commercial properties, and he's doing an amazing job, and you guys would be lucky to be in the class with him. I'm telling you, he's a great inspiration to everybody in the class. Thanks for popping in, Russ. But anyways, yeah. So like I say, you'd be lucky to be in the class, and I'm not pushing anybody because, like I say, I try to get the best and brightest. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just absolutely go after the dopes and the goofballs, and I'm being very blunt and not very kind. I understand that, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are very gullible and easy to manipulate and trusting, and you know what? I feel sorry for those people, and I try to do my best to make people think about what they're doing. But they say there's a sucker born every minute. Well, there's a fake guru born every hour. Okay, and so it's never going to end. And I'm not a martyr to sit here and just try to save everybody. But those of you out there that have a good job, have the discipline to save money. If you're young and you have the discipline that you have saved money and you understand you should have a skill and that you should save, and that you understand that money is a tool, then you have a chance to be in my class. But if you're one of these guys that does not save, that squanders their money, and it doesn't have any, wherewithal, doesn't have any discipline. I don't even want you to call. I don't even want you there. Listen, that's why I set my course rate is actually quite high. But one of the reasons I set it high is, and I discount it. Don't get me wrong. I discount what I charge for the course for the best and brightest, because I want success. I want people that I think will succeed. I do not want to, I'm not going to, over-promise and under-deliver. If anything, I under-promise and over-deliver. And that's what I try to do, and that's what I think I have done. And I think I got plenty of people in my class that would tell you that. By the way, you can go to the class here, right here. Just look at these, look at these testimonials. And, it's just, and there's tons on the book too. And, anyways, you should get the book, though. For sure get the book. You can get it at Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. I urge you to get it. You can read the, what is there, 265 ratings. You can, and you should. You should. It's stupid to just be trusting. You want to check reviews. Like when, that's like I say, when Pace Morby or Chris Crone say they can teach you something, we'll say, prove it. Show me something you made money on. Because I see a very huge lack of information, and goofballs and people without discipline, they overlook that sort of thing. But smart people, they can discern the shit from the shinola, and that's what I look for. I look for people that are smart, and that's why. And if you and believe me, just go to Reddit and look at the people that bought and regretted the stuff that they bought from some of these people I've mentioned. Yeah, I got you, Lifeversity. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, a lot of people didn't believe that. They thought the rates would be down by now. But it's because if you live long enough and you've seen, you've had enough history behind you, and that's what I bring to the table, by the way. It's just a ton of history. I've been doing this for 43 years. You know that things can happen, that other people, just because they've never seen it before in their lifetime, that might be short. Also, I got to tell you about something. You guys got to look at this. This smells to me. Take a look at this. This is kind of interesting. It's called Scam Risk. Take a look at this. Scam Risk. Best online business to start. Passive income ideas. Okay, now this is not an endorsement. In fact, I have to tell these guys that it smells a bit. A father and son working together, which I think is a beautiful thing. Josiah and his dad, Joe. So good to see you guys. But what I didn't like in here is they wrote top 5 real estate programs in here. And look at Real Estate Skills, Cody Sperber, B&B Riches, Chris Crone, Grant Cardone. So I feel Grant Cardone doesn't know shit about real estate other than buying it with other people's money. That's how I feel about Chris Crone. Okay, Cody Sperber, I haven't seen anything particularly compelling, to be quite honest. But I haven't studied or looked at him that closely. But I have gotten a lot of feedback from students and people that know these guys, and so I just would tell you, they wrote here, I'm going to look at it. It says, we tested 25 of the most popular real estate programs. Now, what does that mean they tested? How did they test it? And then these 5 by far and away were the best of the pack. So to me, I don't think they tested shit. I'll be honest with you, Joel and Josiah. Did you buy the program and went through the program? I don't see it. And it's funny, the last thing you want to do is blow 997. That's a Chris Crone number. So I don't know how they form this opinion that out of 25 that they tested, these were the 5 best. Because as you read on and when you read the different things about them, it just doesn't sound like they know anything about them. They're just kind of, and I think they have a disclaimer that says as much. So it's just kind of very, very weird, very weird. But you have to, again, and I saw on Reddit, somebody wrote, is scam risk, let me pull this off. They said, is scam Is scam risk, let me pull this down so you can see it. Is scam risk a scam? Is scam risk a scam? Somebody, and because I read it, I thought, that's something smells. And then I get into Reddit, and then that was one of the first things that somebody wrote. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here. Yeah, I would say middle to low class intelligence as well. I hate to say it. Lower intelligence people. I'm looking for smart, and because I want tough questions. I want people that don't believe what I say. I want them to make me prove, my worth as a mentor, and because the other guys rely on dipshits that don't, and like I say, I go through 40 years of history when I show a property. I'll show you. I bought a property that was taken from me by eminent domain. It was an overpass. Yeah, this is the Avenue L overpass. Somebody actually wrote me from this area, but yeah, Avenue L overpass right there. Anyways, I used to own that property right here. I own the property that you see right here. I went through a huge eminent domain lawsuit when I was 30. Pain in the ass. Very, very rough fighting the government when they're spending taxpayer dollars. But I did prevail. And but anyways, that's kind of stuff I bring to the table, and I urge you to just take time to do this. And if you don't take time to this, then you're unfit. Anyways, I don't want you. But you want to get the book. Let me see here. I'm having a problem with there we go. I'll get rid of this live call thing. Not taking calls anymore now. But, get the book, get the webinar, go to the webinar, sign up for a webinar, and you can either get in live and talk to me or, and listen, go in there with, a scowl on your face and don't believe shit. Don't believe anything anybody says. Anybody that knows me that goes to explain or chooses to sell me, they know by looking at my face that I don't believe a freaking word they're saying, but I am listening to every word, and that's what you should do. And I don't even care about exposing guys, So what'd you write? Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, ripped into Grant Cardone. Yeah, and look, the Wolf of Wall Street is no angel either, Jordan. Obviously he was a scammer at one time. I don't know much about him now, but anyways, so hey, again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys again. And but apply for mentorship. Apply for the mentorship, and you won't be sorry. Get in a webinar. You'll learn more in my webinar than you probably learn in any other webinar. But you'll one of the best things you can learn is that it's possible. It's possible. All these properties, and like I say, this is 1980s. This is the stuff I bought in the 80s, right? And there's about 70 or 80 properties here that I bought that back then. A bunch of vacant land. I went through all kinds of lots, made money on vacant lots. I made $350,000 on a single piece of land out here. Made another 130 on another one over here. And I did it with buildings and offices, and there's the high school I went to as a kid. I barely went to. But I got little houses, little buildings. All this stuff is possible, and same kind of stuff that you're all surrounded by. So, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be revoking all the deals that I've made to people that in the last several weeks or months even that have not jumped in. When I make an offer, it's sincere, but it's not forever. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll call it quits here, and we'll see you again sometime soon. And I will. I'm just gonna kill it if I can ever find if we can make this thing work again. Anyways, so we'll see y'all soon, and bye.